The storm came in faster than anyone expected. Thick gray clouds rolled over the highway like a curtain being pulled across the sky. Emma Turner tightened her grip on the steering wheel as the first streak of rain hit the windshield. She had driven this route many times, but something about tonight felt different, tense. Heavy, like the air itself carried a warning. Beside her, her stepson, Evan, scrolled on his phone. He was 21 now, tall, quiet, carrying a certain calm that reminded her of his late father. It had been a long day visiting colleges, and they were tired, hungry, and ready to be home. But the road stretched out in front of them, dark, slick, and unfamiliar. "Everything okay?" Evan asked without looking up. "Yeah," Emma answered, even though she wasn't sure. "Just trying to get ahead of the rain." That was when the car jerked. A sharp clunk echoed under the hood, then another. The dashboard lights blinked like alarms in a sinking ship. "Oh no," Emma whispered, pulling the car to the shoulder as the engine sputtered and died. Rain slapped hard against the metal roof. Evan leaned forward. "Seriously? Tonight?" Emma tried the ignition once, twice, nothing but a cold click. She pressed her forehead against the wheel. "I'm sorry, Evan, it's completely dead." Scrugged. "We'll figure it out. It's not your fault." But she still felt responsible. She always did. Ever since his father passed 2 years ago. She had carried this invisible weight, the fear of not being enough. Not filling the space he left behind. Evan called roadside assistance while she breathed slowly, trying to settle her nerves. The operator said it would take over 2 hours for a tow truck because of the storm. Emma stared through the rain-washed window. "We can't sit here that long. The highway's too dangerous. It's a small town 10 minutes up the road," Evan said. "There's got to be a motel or something." They grabbed their bags and stepped into the rain. The air was icy, the kind that sneaks under your clothes and settles into your bones. Evan held his jacket over them both as they walked. Cars roared past, sending waves of water toward the shoulder. When they finally reached the convenience store at the edge of town, Emma felt like she had been standing in the rain for hours. The clerk pointed them to a small roadside hotel across the street. It wasn't glamorous yellow lights faded sign. It's the kind of place people only stayed in when they had no other choice but tonight. It felt like safety. The woman at the desk looked apologetic. "I'm sorry," she said, tapping her old computer. "We only have 1 room left. 2 beds. "That's fine," Emma said quickly. "We'll take it." As they walked to their room, Evan joked, "Well, at least it's not haunted." She laughed for the first time that night. Don't jinx it. Inside, the room was simple 2 beds with floral blankets, a humming heater, a window streaked with rain. Emma set her bag down and exhaled deeply. The storm outside roared louder than before, shaking the glass. "Do you want the bed near the window?" Emma asked. Evan shook his head. "You take it. I know you like to fall asleep listening to the rain." She paused, surprised he remembered. It was a small thing, but it softened something inside her. "Thanks." While he called the tow company again, she went into the bathroom, splashed her face with warm water, and studied her reflection. The last 2 years had aged her new lines, tired eyes, that quiet sadness that never fully left. She didn't hide it well. When she returned to the room, Evan was sitting on the edge of his bed, staring at his phone like he was debating something. "What's wrong?" she asked. He hesitated. "The tow company said the car won't be ready until tomorrow afternoon." She sat down across from him. "It's okay. We can stay another night if we need to." "That's not what I meant." He rubbed his hands together. "I just don't want you to stress. You've been carrying everything alone since Dad passed. I know it's a lot." Her throat tightened. She didn't expect him to say it so directly. "I'm fine," she said softly. "You're not," he replied, just as soft. "You think I don't see it, but I do." Emma tried to smile, but the emotion building inside her made it tremble. She looked down at her hands. "I promised your father I'd take care of everything. That I'd take care of you, and you have." His voice was steady, more than anyone could ask. A sudden warmth spread through her chest, gratitude mixed with guilt, fear, and something like relief. The heater hummed. The rain softened. The room grew quieter, as if the storm outside was giving them space. Emma leaned back against the headboard. "Do you ever think about him?" she asked. "All the time," Evan replied. "But I try to remember the parts that don't hurt." She nodded. "I wish I could do that." Evan looked at her, really looked, as if he saw past everything she had tried to hide. "You miss him differently," he said. "You were his wife. I only got him for 20 years. You had him for so much longer." Her breath caught. She hadn't spoken about her grief openly in a long time. Most days she carried it quietly, like a folded letter inside her chest. "I don't know how to move on," she admitted. "Not completely. Not yet." Evan lowered his voice. "You don't have to move on all at once." For a moment she felt the room soften, the steady heat, the dim glow of the lamp, the warm tone in Evan's voice. It wasn't romantic. It was human. It was two people who had lost the same person, each in their own way. Emma sat up straighter. "There's something I haven't told you," she said. Evan's brow lifted. "What is it?" She hesitated. The words felt heavy. "This trip. Visiting colleges. Your father wanted to do all this with you. He had everything planned. He even wrote a letter before he got sick about how he pictured your future." She reached into her bag, pulled out a worn envelope, and handed it to him. "I've been carrying this for a year." Evan froze. "This is from him." She nodded. "He told me to give it to you when you were ready. I thought today might be the right day. I didn't expect the car to break down or for us to end up here, but maybe this is where you were supposed to read it." Evan held the letter like it was fragile. His voice broke slightly. "Can I open it now?" Emma nodded. T.I. unfolded the paper slowly. The room went silent except for the rain tapping softly on the window. His eyes moved carefully over every line, and Emma watched his expression shift: surprise, sadness, something close to peace. When he finished, he wiped his face with his sleeve. "He believed in me more than I thought." "He believed in both of us," she whispered. Evan folded the letter again, pressing it against his chest. I wish you were here tonight." "I know," she said. "Me too." For the first time in months, the heaviness in her chest eased. She felt something open inside her, like a window that had been stuck for too long. Evan cleared his throat. "Can I ask you something? Something personal?" "Of course. Do you ever think about loving someone again?" he asked gently. Emma blinked. She didn't expect the question. "I don't know. I still feel guilty sometimes. Like moving forward means leaving him behind." Evan shook his head. "I don't think he'd want you to be alone forever. You deserve to be happy." She looked away, her heart caught somewhere between grief and hope. "Maybe when I'm ready." The rain softened further, turning into a gentle patter. The room felt warmer, softer, like the storm had pulled them into a quiet pocket of the world where time slowed down. After a moment, Evan lay back on his bed. "We should try to sleep. Tomorrow is going to be a long day." Emma nodded, turning off the lamp. The room dipped into darkness except for the soft glow of the streetlight outside. But she couldn't sleep. Her mind was full memories of her husband, the letter, the storm, the unexpected honesty of the night. And somewhere deep inside, a small spark of something she hadn't felt in a long time. Not love, not yet, but the possibility of it, and she knew whatever tomorrow brought, this night would change something in both of them. The morning came quietly, with the storm long gone and sunlight spilling through the hotel curtains. Emma woke first, staring at the muted light on the walls. The night had left her restless, yet strangely lighter. As if sharing grief with Evan had opened a door she didn't realize she'd been keeping closed. Evan was still asleep, his breathing even, and for a moment she watched him, feeling the familiar pang of love for her stepson. Not romantic, but deep, protective, and gentle. She got up quietly, pulled on a sweater, and walked to the window. Outside, the town was waking slowly. Puddles reflected the sky like mirrors. She could hear faint sounds of distant traffic, the soft clatter of shutters, and birds cautiously returning to their morning. Her mind wandered. Last night had stirred memories she'd been holding back for years. Memories of her husband's laugh, the late-night conversations, the dreams they had for the future, and this sudden void his passing had left. She realized how much she had been carrying alone, even though Evan was always there, silently supporting her. The phone rang, startling her. It was the hotel desk. "Good morning, Miss Turner. The tow truck is ready for you now. Your car is fixed and waiting at the service station. Would you like directions?" "Yes, thank you," she said. Her voice sounded steadier than she felt. She hung up and turned to Evan, who had just opened his eyes, rubbing them. "The car's ready," she said softly. "We'll be heading out soon." Evan yawned and nodded. "All right. I'm hungry first, though. Can we get breakfast?" They went down to the small hotel diner. It was quiet, filled with the smell of coffee and toast. They sat in a corner booth, side by side. Evan picked at his pancakes, still quiet, while Emma sipped her coffee, letting the warmth seep into her hands. Last night, Evan started hesitantly. "Thank you for letting me read the letter. It meant a lot." Emma smiled faintly. "I'm glad. He wanted you to know he believed in you, even if he wasn't here to say it himself." Evan nodded. "I think I understand him better now. And I understand you, too." Her heart squeezed. Understanding. Connection. Something she hadn't felt in a long time with anyone. After breakfast, they walked to the car. The air was fresh, the storm's tension gone, leaving only a crisp brightness that seemed to make the world start over. The tow truck had brought the car to a nearby service station, and the mechanic waved them over, giving a thumbs up. The car was fine, engine purring smoothly. "Everything's ready," the mechanic said. "You should have no problems on your trip back." Emma thanked him, and Evan slid into the passenger seat. As she started the car, she felt the lingering tension of the past 2 days slowly lifting. The storm had tested them, forced them into a small space together. But it had also reminded them how much they had of each other's support, understanding, and quiet love. The drive back was different from the drive before the storm. The road seemed brighter, familiar landmarks, feeling new somehow. Emma felt lighter, freer, though the memories of her husband were still present. She realized that grief was not something to run from. It was something to carry with care, letting it remind her of love rather than only loss. Evan looked out the window, the letter still folded carefully in his jacket pocket. "Mom, or I guess Emma," he said after a while, "do you think he'd be proud of me?" "I know he would," she said firmly. "You're strong, thoughtful, and kind. And you've taken care of me in ways I didn't even realize I needed." He smiled briefly, looking away from the window. I don't want to mess up." "You won't," she said. "And even if you do, it's okay. Life isn't about being perfect teats, about learning, trying, and moving forward. Just like we're doing now." The miles passed quickly. They talked about colleges, Evan's plans, small jokes, memories of his father. The bond between them felt renewed, like last night had cleared the air and given them both permission to be open without fear. Later, they stopped at a roadside park to stretch their legs. The trees were wet, leaves shining in the morning sun. A small lake reflected the sky. Emma sat on a bench, feeling a rare sense of peace. Evan came and sat beside her. "You know," he said, "last night wasn't just about the letter. It was about talking. I never tell anyone how I feel." "Not really. But last night, it was okay." Emma nodded. "I know. I feel the same way. It's like we've been carrying so much alone that we forgot we could share it." He glanced at her. "Do you ever think about moving on, about someone new?" She looked away, hesitating. The question stirred something she wasn't ready to name. "Sometimes. I'm not sure. But maybe one day. That's all I'm saying," Evan replied gently. "Just, you deserve happiness." Emma smiled, feeling something she hadn't in a long time possibility. Hope, a quiet warmth that wasn't tied to grief. She realized she could let herself feel again without guilt. She could honor her past while allowing space for the future. After the park, they got back in the car. The rest of the drive was calm. No storms, no interruptions, just the rhythm of tires on the road and the faint hum of conversation as they neared their town. Emma felt a soft sense of closure. The night in the hotel, the storm, the letter writ, had all been unexpected, yet exactly what they both needed. Life had forced them into a small, strange space, and in doing so, it had opened their hearts in ways they hadn't anticipated when they pulled into their driveway. The car's engine finally silent. Emma turned to Evan. "Thank you," she said. "For last night. For today. For everything." Evan smiled, climbing out of the car. "Thank you for being honest with me. For letting me see how much we still have, even after everything." They walked inside together, carrying bags, hearts a little lighter, minds a little clearer. The house was quiet, familiar, safe. Emma felt the weight of the past 2 years slowly lift, replaced by something gentler, quiet strength, a renewed bond, and hope for the days ahead. Later that evening, as Emma prepared dinner, she thought about her life, the losses, the challenges, the love that had shaped her. She realized she didn't need to have everything figured out. She only needed to keep moving forward, step by step, holding close what mattered most. Evan came into the kitchen, setting the letter on the counter. "I'm glad I got to read this," he said. "I'll keep it safe, and I'll try to make him proud." Emma nodded, smiling softly. "I know you will. And I'll be right here, too." The night settled over the house, calm and quiet. The storm was long gone, leaving only clarity and the soft glow of a new beginning. Emma understood something profound. Life could break you, challenge you, even surprise you in the most unexpected ways, but love, honesty, and connection were the anchors that kept you grounded. And as she looked at Evan, her stepson, she realized that family, trust, and shared memory could be just as powerful as any romance or fleeting passion outside. The sky was clear, stars beginning to peek through the fading clouds. Inside, to hearts both carrying grief, hope, and quiet resilience rested easier than they had in months. Tomorrow would come with its own challenges. But for now, they had each other, and that was enough. And somewhere deep inside, Emma allowed herself to feel a flicker of something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope for the future, soft, gentle, and bright.